In the wine world, when it comes to white wines, single varietal wines have more cachet than white blends, and I don't know why. Some of the more prestigious red wines are Bordeaux blends, GSMs, and I don't know why in white that's not the case. Maybe because some of the greatest whites in the world are maybe Chardonnay, single varietal, or Riesling. The concept is Teutonic in nature, especially because the Germans value purity when it comes to their white wines, especially when it comes to Riesling. Here today, I have two white blends, one of my favorite white blends, but it's a unique take. One is an American wine, one is from Italy, the home of this wine. The winemaker of the American wine really loved the wines from this Italian region, Friuli-Venezia Giulia, which is in the northeastern corner of Italy. It's right on the border of Slovenia. And in the northeast corner of Friuli are two regions, Collio Orientale, where some of the more prestigious wines from the region come from. It's like a little crescent shape that's the international border between Italy and Slovenia. There's really no physical border. When you're driving through the region, it's hilly, it's mountainous, and the roads kind of wind. It's a really soulful, romantic region. I think that I have an affinity for it because a lot of my wine career started out in Slavic countries, and that part of Italy has a real Slavic feel. In fact, some of the great producers like Gravner, Radikon have Slovenian roots. They're more Slavic than maybe Italian. I also like it because one of my favorite novels took place there, Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. It took place in World War II, I believe. This part of Italy didn't become Italy until it was annexed in 1918 after World War I. Before that, it was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. When it comes to the Collio white blend, when I think of it, you can play with a number of grapes, but the grapes usually are Ribula Gialla or Ribula, which is known in Slovenia, Malvasia Istriana or Malvasia Istarska, as it's known in Slovenia, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio. There can be some Pinot Blanc as well, but usually the standard, what I think of is Ribula, Malvasia, Chardonnay, and maybe a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc. Oh, I forgot, they can also have Friulano in them, which is one of my favorite white grapes in Italy. These wines are rich, they're weighty, they're complex, yet they have some mineral flavors because there are these ponca, slaty soils. They're actually quite soft, they break apart. These wines are often pretty full-bodied. They're bigger, richer white wines. They're not as high in acidity. They're a little bit softer, but I love the complexity because when you have different grapes, Malvasia Istriana has a little slightly floral note. Ribula can have high acidity, but also has some unique flavors. And then, of course, Chardonnay brings some body. You can have some aromatics from Sauvignon Blanc. But without further ado, let's taste these wines. I'm really excited because I only have two wines. I don't have to take notes. I'm feeling a little frisky today because I spoke at my first TBEX, a travel bloggers conference. It moves all around the world in Canada. I made some great connections there. There might be new types of content coming up on the channel. Fingers crossed, hope that works out. I don't know why I went on that rant. I guess because I'm feeling a little frisky today. Let's get into the wines. Let's start out with wine number one here. This is like the tip. Smelling this, this is one category of wine. When I smell it, I would say, yes, this is from Collio. Collio is actually well known for the orange wine movement, like Gravner, Radikon. You have producers like Dario Princic, Perisco, so they're doing really good work up that way. But these are not wines with maceration. These are not orange wines. These, as you can see, these are standard white wines. Offer really good value for money, too. This has this yellow peach, this soil type note, this like pineapple, slightly floral. That pineapple note, just a little bit of white pepper. These are incredibly complex wines. Think about the body of a Chardonnay, but not the flavors. Doesn't have high acidity. This is a seamless wine. Goes through the entire way. There are no holes in the palate. What I mean, there's no spikes in flavor where the fruit just disappears. It's incredibly long. That's good. You know, these type of white wines can stand up to even pork dishes, pork neck. I think it can work really well. We'll move on to wine number two here. Okay, two. A different feel. Has a little Pinot Grigio kind of feel to it. Where I get that Pinot Grigio, when I think of it, has a lot of pineapples, tangerine peel, tanginess to it. A slight bit of grass, but not a ton. These are quite different. Really nice. What's not different? The palate. Weighty wine. Again, no holes. This one on the left has a touch more acidity. It has a pretty smooth, round texture. Let me go back to one here and compare. I have to make a difference. I would have to say that on the right here, I like the flavors, the complexity, the finish a little bit more. 2, I like the texture. The texture is really nice. These are both excellent wines. Let's go to the reveal. If you want to hang out with me and other wine geeks, I want you to check out channel memberships. I have several tiers, but in the Grand Reserve tier, I do a monthly live hangout call. You can come up on screen, talk shop, share your wines. People that have been in this group have been in for quite some time. We have a lot of fun. And yeah, it's just nice to connect with people with like minds. There are perks for other members too, and it supports the work I do here. So thank you. These are close. I think this one on the right is outstanding. I'm going to go 90 plus 93 on the right. So very nice wines. Let's see what the price is. 90 plus wines for a Colio blend. I don't know which one the American wine is. Part of me wants to say it's the one on the right because it's a little bit rounder, but you never know with these things. The thing in the wine world these days, it's harder and harder to tell where wines are from with advanced techniques in the vineyard and in the cellar. So let's see. Maybe this Italian on the left. We'll see. 90 plus points, I said. Let's take a look here. This is not Italian. This is American. This is the Masacan Ania 2023. This comes in at $30. 43% Friulano, 30% Ribolla, 34% Ribolla Gialla, 23% Chardonnay. Dan Protowski is the winemaker here. He said he sold this brand to Constellation, but he's still at the helm. Really smart guy because he wanted to start a wine brand in Napa, but you know what? When you make red wines, you have to hold them back for a long time. When you're starting out, it means you're not making money. He's made fresh white wines, bottled them, you sell them, there's cash flow already. This was in Wine Spectator's top 100 wines of last year. I believe I sell a lot of this wine in my shop. People love it. Fantastic wine, and it's something that you can find. It's fairly readily available. I think it is super delicious. $30 retail. I know that at the shop I work at, we sell it for $24.99, which is incredible value for money. 93 plus points on the right here. I knew what these wines were beforehand, of course. I Corrigan had somebody mix them up for me. This is a new producer to the wine scene. I know Colio very well. This is the Roi Clâr Roi Blanc. This is 50% Friulano, 50% Pinot Grigio, incredibly complex. I know it's made in amphora because he makes his own amphoras. He was the head winemaker for Yerman before Yerman sold to Antinori. I'm really shocked because this is 50% Pinot Grigio, and I got more Pinot Grigio in this. Remember Blind out of the Masacan? Pinot Grigio is a fantastic white wine grape. I know it's got a bad rap because of the thin, watery examples, but there are some just delicious, outstanding, well-made Pinot Grigios out there. You might have to spend a little bit more, but they have weight, they have richness, and I believe that in Italy, maybe this is 15, 20 euros. I don't know if it's available in America yet. I think it's fantastic. If you can't find these wines, you can find wines from, like Marco Faluga does some fantastic blends out there. Schiopetto, which is one of the founders, Yerman, like I talked about, some of these wines are more readily distributed. Then there's some smaller producers that I think are excellent. So tell me, do you love white blends? Do you like the wines from Friuli? Have you tasted any of these grapes before? I'd love to hear. Drop it in the comments below.